GMOs are genetically modified organisms that have been around since the early 1980s. They are everyday plant animals we consume, only their traits have been modified in scientific labs and research centers around the world. This means that scientists and researchers have studied and modified the traits of these organisms to make them more effective and efficient for farmers and consumers. 1 in 8 people out of the global population of 7 billion do not have enough food to eat, and that is why GMOs are here to help and provide a safe and sustainable food source for them. Here's a little background about GMOs. DNA transfer was first discovered by Herbert Boyer and Stanley Cohen in 1973. In 1983, the first tobacco plant was produced, which was resistant to antibiotics. In 1990, cotton was also developed as a GMO. And in 1995, Monsanto developed herbicide-immune soybeans, which was known as Roundup Ready, and that is what people know it as today. GMO ingredients are found in over 80% of all packaged foods in the U.S. 93% of soybeans are GMO, 93% of cotton crops are GMO, 86% of all corn, as well as 90% of all canola. And lastly, the question I want to pose and for everyone to answer is why GMOs are needed and why they are important to the global economy. First and foremost, these crops are genetically modified to withstand even the harshest conditions across the globe, including places with deserts, rocky terrain, and high elevations. They are designed to withstand pesticides and herbicides the farmers use to protect their crops. This helps them prevent disease, which ensures the safety and crop of the animal. Secondly, they are also designed to withstand severe climates such as warm or dry climates or rainy or very wet climates. The crops can grow efficiently and effectively anywhere in the world. This means that even countries with poor growing conditions such as all of Africa and the Middle East can grow enough food to support their economies. And lastly, the crops can be enhanced both nutritionally and taste-wise. Scientists can add vitamins and minerals to the crops, which then benefits the persons who consume them. This is extremely important in developing countries as well as in the U.S. because people do not consume a balanced enough diet to meet all of their nutritional needs. Therefore, the GMO crops can aid in that process and benefit them in the future. These several areas are the reasons we need GMOs in the U.S. and within the global economy. GMOs can help farmers around the world grow crops efficiently and effectively and feed the growing population. Did you know wild carrots are not actually orange? We've modified that. Wild bananas, so full of seeds you cannot actually eat them. We've changed and altered everything to make it match our taste and needs. That's genetic modification known as artificial selection. Since GMOs increase yield, we get to save on land. Think about it. You need less land to produce the same amount of food. In a blind test, 60% of the 37 testers preferred the flavor of the genetically modified tomato, according to a 2007 study published in Nature Biotechnology. In a 2012 study done by the African Development Bank and the International Food Policy Research Institute, they concluded that under ideal conditions, the use of genetically modified crops used by small farmers can improve gross margins by 114%, reduce pesticide costs by 70%, and improve yields by up to 29%. GMOs have helped reduce greenhouse gas emissions equivalent to removing 11.9 million cars from the road for 1 year. An example of malnutrition problem is vitamin A deficiency. This alone is responsible for 250,000 to 500,000 children becoming blind every year, with half of them dying within 12 months of losing their sight.